Sometimes I think we minimize the opportunity we have every Sunday to do what we do. We're not ending our week coming together like this, but we're beginning our week coming in and taking the opportunity to just connect with God and recharge our minds and our spirits and our hearts. Because the world's a tough place. Today's a tough day to live in. And sometimes I think we minimize it. We're just doing some songs and we stand and we sit and we hug necks and we tell people thank you for taking a shower and things like that. But truly, we value this time to just come in and worship and connect once again, because I think we would all agree there are so many distractions the other 6 days of the week. Even on Sunday there are distractions. Sunday seems to be like the day of war for most families, because you're trying to get everybody ready in the house. You're trying to get to church on time, and even in our house, we got 3 kids. We have 5 people fighting over 2 bathrooms, and God love her. I tell my lovely daughter this morning, Taylor, I have to shower today, so don't take long. I won't, Daddy. 30 minutes later, the shower, the water's still running, and I get in the other shower, and it's like jumping in a nice cool pool of water, and I don't know if it's because her legs are so hairy and she's waiting for that cold water to make the hair stand out. You should have got out in 10 minutes. So we got 5 people fighting over 2 bathrooms, 2 sinks. We got 3 dogs that are running around the house crazy, biting each other and trying to get to their food. And we got Roscoe, the little basset hound that just drags out all the trash. So here we are chasing the dogs around, chasing the kids around. It just seems like that day where we're trying to come in and be focused, but life is just stressful, isn't it? Well, it is for me. I guess it's not. Maybe you should come up here this morning and talk. Life is stressful. Anybody deal with stress this week? Well, let's just see your hand. Well, see, you guys, when I said life is stressful, that wasn't a rhetorical question. I needed some sort of a response for that. Life is stressful. There we go. In fact, it's more stressful in our generation than it really has been in some of the past generations. I love TV shows like Andy Griffith. Does anybody watch Andy Griffith? Wow, more than what I thought. I watch it every day. And I don't know if it's because I feel like I relate to Andy, because he is not really the sheriff of Mayberry. He's really the pastor of Mayberry. Everybody comes to Andy for everything. Andy, my cat's in a tree. Andy, my fence got run over. Andy, you got to do something about Barney. And it's just the similarities are so there in watching that show. But if you get past all of that, and you start seeing the scenes where he's on the front porch and Aunt Bee's rocking on her rocking chair. She's knitting something. Opie's reading a comic book. Andy's usually doing what? Playing the guitar and whistling. And one of my favorite episodes is when, I can't remember the guy's name, but this guy comes into town and his car breaks down, but it's Sunday and everything's closed and he can't get his car fixed. And so he's at Andy's house, and Andy and Barney are on the front porch, and Barney sits back and goes, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go home, take me a nap, go over to Thelma Lou's, watch some TV. Then it just gets real quiet. Yep, I'm going to go home, take me a nap, get up, go to Thelma Lou's, watch some TV. One more time. Yeah, I think I'll just go home, take me a nap. And the guy standing there says, for crying out loud, will you go home, take a nap, and go to Thelma Lou's and watch TV? We just live in a day and age of stress. In fact, our generation, this generation right here, will work next year, 2016, you will work 181 more hours than previous generations. 181 more hours per year than previous generations. That's an extra month. You're going to put 13 months of work into 12 months. Moms, I don't know how you moms do it today. Moms, 80% of moms polled, of mothers polled, said they are, in the words of Cosmo Kramer from Seinfeld, stressed out. They are stressed out. And 70% of those same mothers will tell you that they are sleep deprived. And the truth is about all of us is we're all so busy running here and running there that we get to the end of the day and the day has gone by so fast. We're stressed out, our body's tired, our body's aching, our mind is tired. We get aggravated, we get agitated. But until we change some things about our lives, the coping mechanisms we have in place right now will be virtually ineffective in the next 5 years. It's going to require us to make some different choices in our lives. And what's happening, and I see it as a pastor, and sometimes having kids involved in their schools, it tries to pull us into that. But our commitments are starting to outweigh, for many of us, they're starting to outweigh our priorities. We're so overcommitted of going left and right and forwards and backwards and up and down, and we're so overcommitted to everything that we've promised our time and our efforts to, that the things that really are the most important items in our lives are being left on the back burner just so we can fulfill our commitment. What does that do? It produces stress, tension. It causes arguments in the home and fights. And to be quite honest with you, for many of us, that lifestyle is just not sustainable. It's going to catch up to us. Job said it best in Job chapter 9, verse 25. He says, "My days are swifter than a runner." Anybody feel like that? My days are as fast as a sprinter. I mean, they just fly. These weeks are flying by. I tell the girls, every Friday, I take the girls to school almost every day. And every Friday in the car, I tell the girls, well, another week down, you've only got 8 more months. You know, they kind of roll their eyes. But look, October, this week is the last week of October. So guess what? You have 7 more months. And look how fast that's gone by. 2 weeks from today, or 2 months from today, what is it? It's Christmas already, for crying out loud. We're going to be, if you think you're overcommitted now and stressed out now, 6 weeks from now, you're really going to be stressed out when you don't have everything at home that you need for Christmas. But Job says, "My days are swifter than a runner, and they fly away without a glimpse of joy." A lot of us just get home and we just drop in the recliner or we flop on the bed. We let out that big exhaustive sigh because the day is finally over. But we don't realize what our busyness and our stress, we don't realize the impact it's having on our home, on our health, and our lives, and our marriages, and our workplace. It's impacting us in all areas. So why are we so busy? I see people, do you know this church has 3 congregations? How many of you know that? We have 3 congregations. We really do. We could do 3 services. We just can't get the other 2 groups here all the time. We have 3 congregations. We have about 85 to 90 of you that are here on a regular basis. I get up every Sunday and I see your pretty face smiling back there. Some of your pretty faces are sleeping usually in the next 10 minutes. And you know, I get to see everybody. And it's nice. And then we have about 50 or 60 people that, well, we see them once every maybe 4 to 6 weeks. They just show up kind of if nothing else is going on, and if there's nothing else planned for that day, or if the Buckeyes won, then we'll go to church. And you know, it's kind of just the way of life. And then we have about 30 or 40 more people, God bless them. They come at Christmas and Easter, and they come to the special events when there's free food, and we're doing something outside. It doesn't make any of them wrong or bad. But when I see them out in the stores, or I see them at Lowe's or at some of the favorite places that I like to go visit, it's they want to give me excuse why they've not been here. And I'm not looking for an excuse. Listen, it's just between you. I'll act like my mom. If you don't want to go to heaven, that's okay. As long as I get there and take my family with me. Mom, I can pick on them. They're here this morning. Mom used to come in and, my parents never made me go to church. Never made me go to church. They just said, as long as you live here, you'll go to church with us. And it was a whole lot cheaper to walk up the hill and go to church than it was to pay rent. Mom would say, listen, if you don't want to go to church this morning, that's fine.